Hi for the first time, this is my first video on my brand new cooking channel, MJD Cooks. Today we're going to be doing golden fried rice. So we're going to start off with our ingredients: chicken breasts, rainbow peppercorns, coriander seeds, turmeric, fresh thyme, golden curry stock, miso paste, salt flakes, eggs, and some greens. So we're going to start with the garlic and the ginger. We're going to take our knife and press down on the garlic firmly till you hear a slight crack. That's going to let us easily take the peel off. After that, we're going to cut off the base, which we won't be using. For the ginger, you're going to want a piece about the same size as your garlic clove. You're going to peel it. You can either use a peeler or a knife. And then what you're going to do is take the garlic and the ginger and finely grate it. I was left feeling kind of foolish because about halfway through the cook I realized my secondary camera hadn't been filming the cooking process. You're going to want to take a wok or a frying pan, heat it up on the stove, put a mixture of oil and butter in there to heat up. After that you're going to put your garlic, ginger and fresh thyme in the pan. When you start getting the smell of those aromatics, you're going to want to turn the heat down. If you're using about a cup of rice, you need about 6 cups of water to go with it. You're going to want to get that water on the stove and boiling in advance. In the meantime, you're going to want to take your jasmine rice and rinse it till you get all the gluten powder off. Next, we're going to move on to the carrots. You're going to slice your carrots into discs about ½ centimeter thick. I cook in a go with the flow kind of manner, so there aren't any quantities for these recipes. You just adjust them for how many people you're cooking for and how much flavor you like. Then you're going to take those discs and cut them in half. We're going to chop the ends off and then make sure all of the skin is peeled off. Afterwards, we're going to cut the onions in half, and then you can chop them up to whatever size you like. I like to cut them into crescent moon shapes, sort of, because I think it's a nice size for chopsticks. Onions and carrots are going to go into the pan with your garlic and ginger, and that's basically the flavor base for your entire meal. You're going to want to keep those cooking until the onion becomes translucent. Then we're going to take the broccoli, break the smaller florets off of the main head. You can then cut them as big or small as you like. Now the broccoli doesn't need to go in just yet, so we're going to take this time to grind up some of our spices. We're going to take some coriander seeds, put them in the pestle and mortar, and just smash them around. The coriander can go straight in the pan, and then we'll do the same with the rainbow pepper. Next, we're going to take our golden curry stock. I found this in a Chinese supermarket. Basically what I understood is that it was like a katsu curry stock paste. We'll be covering how to make an actual katsu curry in a later episode. You're going to want to take about 1/4 of the stock pot and dilute that with about 3 cups of boiling water. At this point you can throw your broccoli into the pan, give everything a good stir. Next we're going to take about a teaspoon of our miso paste, mix that into your stock, stir it up till everything's dissolved. Cabbage, you're going to cut a slice off the head. The size determines how many people you're cooking for, and then you just want to chop it up. That goes in the pan. Take about a teaspoon of turmeric and throw that in the rice. Now we're going to take a red pepper, cut the head off, and then just cut it into 3 or 4 segments depending on the pepper. You want to make sure you cut off all that white rind in the center and make sure there are no seeds. Take our segments, cut them into fingers, and then from there we're just going to cut them into cubes. Most important rule of cooking is to taste as you go, so what you're going to want to be doing is just taking a little mouthful from the pan, seeing if it needs more salt or pepper, and seasoning accordingly. While this is all happening, you're just going to want to make sure that you're moving around the vegetables in your pan, making sure nothing starts burning. If you do start getting a little bit of a burnt smell, just go ahead and throw some water in there. Then you're going to want to throw that red pepper and the peas into the pot, give it a stir. We're going to move on to our chicken, which you're going to want to cut into cubes of reasonable size. Again, something easy to pick up with chopsticks, but not too huge. And then those go into the pan. So I tested my stock mix. I didn't find that it had enough flavor, so I added 3 teaspoons of soy sauce, mixed that in. Then you're going to grab a cup or a bowl, crack your eggs into it, and beat them like you're going to make an omelette or scrambled eggs. Having finished with the prep side, I moved my initial camera to set it up so we could watch the cooking process for the rest of the video. At this point, you're going to want to check on your rice, see how cooked through it is. Give your food in the wok or pan a stir, season with some more salt and pepper. And then now you're going to want to pour that stock mix in. It's going to be a lot of liquid. Basically, you want to get everything in that pan coated in this juice and let it cook in there for a little while. It helps to put a pot lid on, and that'll let the steam cook everything through. You're going to take your rice, put it into a strainer, and get as much of that excess liquid out as possible. We're going to check on our other ingredients now. At this point, you want to get a secondary pan and a strainer, and you're going to want to pour that additional liquid into the new pan. We're going to get the heat going on that and let it reduce so it gets thicker but keeps that flavor. Go grab your rice and begin mixing it into your other ingredients. As you can see, it's got that nice golden color. After your stock is reduced, you're going to throw in a teaspoon of turmeric just to get more of that golden color in. Mix it up. and then you're going to pour it over your rice. I did mine in 2 stages. Half of it in, mix it all up, half of it in again, then continue mixing. A good way to naturally balance out any excess saltiness is sour, so I took half a lemon and just squeezed a little bit of juice in, mixed it all around, season with some more salt and pepper. Next you're going to want to rinse your secondary pan, bring it back, throw in some butter or oil. You're going to throw those eggs in. I like putting a lid on just to speed up how quickly they cook. It's pretty simple. Here you're going to essentially make scrambled eggs. And that's pretty much that. You're going to want to get that in a bowl, a little bit more salt and pepper, some fresh thyme over the top, golden fried rice.